Hey, yo, it's Dominic D'Angelo. It's a Thursday. It's Rumor and Innuendo. And I'm happy to be here with Mr. Robert Karplis, WD Creative _ish. Robert, happy Thursday to you. Is it still very hot down in Florida?
It's nice. It's a comfortable 87 degrees at the moment, so it's practically winter.
It is. That's very wintry down there in Florida. I will say that much. Hey, I had to catch up on Dynamite a little bit this morning and just did it in the nick of time, but I had a good reason. Guess who goes to my bank, Robert?
I
The
got
master
nothing.
of horror, Mr. Tom Savini. I was at the bank getting a roll of quarters for laundry, trying to find my wallet, and I heard a man in the side room talking to somebody else. And then they were saying, "Oh yeah, I go to conventions and stuff like that." I paid no mind. But then when he got on the phone, he said, "Hey, this is Tom Savini," and my ears perked up. And sure enough, that was Tom Savini in my bank, Robert. So there we go.
Did you
Little
did you
story.
go over and talk to him?
I did not. No, he was too. I didn't want to interrupt because he were in his room and had his phone on, so I didn't want to say anything. So, but I did acknowledge his presence. So
What a anticlimactic
I
story.
know, right?
I thought this was going to end with like the reason I didn't get to watch it was we became friends. We're hanging out. He's part of your podcast empire.
Who knows? Maybe at some point I'll see him again. I'm sure, and he lives in the Bloomfield area. So, let's say hi to some folks in the chat here. We got Triple E saying, "What's up?" A hotline episode today. Yeah, I'll do a hotline episode. Brassringmedia.com. Kimmy Star says, "What's up, guys? Can't wait for working stiff. I ran out of audiobook hours. Oh, man. What you been reading on audiobook, Kimmy?" Dre Owen says, "What's up? Bobby Lashley breaking character was the highlight of my Dynamite." We will definitely talk about that segment and Collision tonight. Wrestling Old Head says, "Cue Travis Scott's Fiend song. Interesting." And Wrestling Old Head says, "Because Savini helped make the Bray Wyatt Fiend mask." Oh, I got you. Okay.
I
Robert.
like that you read one of the comments and not the second part of it, and you like reacted in real time. That was kind of fun.
Thanks. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, thanks. Robert, were you thankful for AEW Dynamite last night and what they had to present to everyone?
don't do it, Tom.
I,
I thank you. No, I don't. I really no.
we won't do it.
Look, last night's show was right down the middle.
Like Fonzie?
No. You didn't call it down the middle. And we didn't have an excessive amount of blood loss. No, it was a ground rule double. It was a fine, by the books 2-hour episode of TV. I think the matches they put out there, they were good. They were not revolutionary. There weren't a lot of oh my god matchups. It felt oddly a lot like a mid-90s episode of Raw. Even down to the main event, it kind of felt like, all right, we're going to do, champion Shawn Michaels against, whoever, Damian Demento or something like that. Like, just we knew who was going to win all these matches. It's to advance whatever the stories are. Could have been Shawn Michaels, Isaac Yankem for your main event. Speaking of guys who were wrestlers who had careers, in this case, it was a bull who's also a lawyer.
Who's also dating one of your top female stars.
Not dating one of my top female stars.
Yes. Okay. No,
but it opened. The show did open with two of those top female stars in Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné. And the thought that I had here is, boy, this is a long build.
Yeah, they're slow playing it a little bit here. I'm okay with it though. I think you can create some more. You didn't get Toni Storm a chance to speak, and I think when she talks, it means a lot. So build it to next week. Slow play it a little bit if you're going to do it. So
agree. It's a lot of, hey, we're telling the physicality, we're telling the story. That match more than any is really teed up as a. One person has all these titles, the other one has the only title she cares about. And that's kind of the thrust of the story that you need. Making it personal and having the physical attacks and things like that. I don't know that it makes me more excited to watch this match. It's one of those things, I don't think they need more of a reason to face off other than one has the title, one wants the title. We saw this strain with the Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair feud, where they were trying so hard to get this additional level of relevance beyond just, dude, I'm excited to see Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné, and I think that's a strong match. I don't know that I need a deeper reason or concern other than, I want to keep my title. I want to get your title.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, because it's like we've been waiting forever. Like, fans have been waiting forever for Mercedes Moné to be in that main world title picture for the women's division. And like, finally, this is happening, and it's happening at arguably your biggest show of the year here. So it's that's all you really need, and it's against your biggest women's star you got going on too at the moment in time too at the same time. So yeah, don't think you need a whole lot of extra bells and whistles with this. It'll be interesting to see how they make it intriguing up until All In does take place. The match that we did have starting things off was Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland tagging up against Blake Christian and Lee Johnson, and they get the win. That is Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, pronoun pals. And they defeat them, and then they make a stipulation against the Young Bucks.
All right, the way you just said, because it's Jim Ross makes one of like a pronoun boy or something. Pronoun pals sounds like a child's stuffed animal like line to teach kids about preferred he, they, she pronouns.
Did you get?
We're sitting on a gold mine, Dom.
So I don't know if your school did this. Did you guys have the Scholastic Book Fair?
What school? What even your school in town that didn't have a Blockbuster, which sounds like a horrible Hallmark Christmas movie. Yes, we had the Scholastic Book Fair. We lived for that little newsprint pamphlet where you see all these cool. If you have one in your room, I'm going to be terrified.
I have something akin to it, if I can find it. Hold on, I got too many items.
As we watch Dom rummage to complete this weird anecdote that isn't going to go anywhere. It's going to be the second go nowhere anecdote of the Dominic D'Angelo show here today.
Yeah, never mind.
I'm gonna here's this match. This is the thing about this. This is where I'm a little frustrated. Not as frustrated as I am with Dom trying to find the Scholastic Book Fair flyer. Of the two of us who has kids that would have that in their house, it's not going to be Dom. I do have that. I did have it somewhere when the kids were in school. It's summer. We don't have it. Anyway, I've been saying for months and potentially years, if you have heel EVPs, they should be flexing their muscle that they actually don't physically have because they're puny, scrawny looking men. But like as EVPs, they should be screwing with people. They should be doing heinous things. This is the first time we've seen them do this in months, years, possibly ever. And the way they did it was about as lame as possible, which is, hey, you guys are going to wrestle later, but good news, you're wrestling now. But we're putting you against, Lee Johnson and Blake Christian, who we know don't matter.
Yes.
And the big, power play is, oh no, you got to tie your shoes. Like it should have been, the odds are stacked against the baby faces in such an egregious way where it's, they get the pin. Oh, did we not tell you this is a submission match? Oh, did we not tell you this is an ODQ match? Oh, did we not tell you it's a special guest referee match? And here comes, what the hell was that guy? Brandon Cutler. They should have just kept piling on and piling in to hammer home the fact these EVPs are awful. Instead, it was, we moved your match up a little bit. And then Taz kind of dismissed that by saying, hey, you should always have your gear on and be ready to go. And we put two of our top stars, including a former world champion, against two dudes who don't really matter. So it didn't feel like what a heinous punishment if it was a 4-on-2 match or a 5-on, anything to make this seem like the deck is really stacked against them, other than you were mildly inconvenienced by having to tie your shoes.
That's a great point. And the fact that they're going up against Blake Christian and Lee Johnson, and not for just the sake of it, two Don Callis family members or something like that, that somebody that we've seen, it just it's a little bit of a head scratcher.
It seemed odd, and then the fact that the post match is Ospreay and Swerve challenging the Bucks and saying you need to put your EVP titles on the line. No.
Yeah, no, we're not.
That's how that goes. It's like the strangest thing ever. It's AOP gets mad at Trump and then says, like, I challenge you to a game of tic-tac-toe and you put the presidency on the line and I'm going to put nothing on the line.
Did you know you just said AOP and not AOC?
Did I say AOP?
Yes, you did.
Well, the authors of pain are challenging Donald Trump. That'd be way much better. Anyway, you know what I meant. AOC. The coffee's not working at the moment, but it's like there's no impetus, there's no reason for the Bucks to necessarily accept this challenge. It's not like you put your EVP titles on the titles on the line, which isn't how corporate governance works, and we're gonna put up, our careers or something stupid. Like it doesn't.
That's why they need like a Jack Tunney and not a Tony Khan, like to kind of be like, if the Bucks push back about that, oh, here comes somebody else out here to be like, no, you are putting those on the line, and that's what's happening at All In.
One of the funniest things about being a wrestling fan is accepting that wrestling is slightly not on the level. And when Papa Shango lit guys' shoes on fire, he really wasn't using mystical powers.
What?
I didn't realize Jack Tunney wasn't really WWF president as a kid. Like
Yeah.
that was the line that went too far. I can accept these making the Ultimate Warrior puke, he being Papa Shango, using mystical magical powers, but I couldn't accept that the old man in a suit wasn't the president.
Right.
Wrestling Old Head, by the way, can rot in the depths of hell with his suggestion. AEW needs a Gorilla Monsoon. I nominate Paul White. No.
Big boss.
Can you imagine Paul White lumbering out there all the time, heavy breathing? I think it should be.
You should segue into Blue Cheese.
Young Bucks.
With the heavy breathing. Robert.
Trent?
Yes. And Kota Ibushi. Did you like this return of Kota Ibushi in a match?
So I like that they gave you a video package.
Yes.
I like that they try to remind you who Kota Ibushi was. But this was, again, a match where it wasn't ever in question. And that's okay. They used this to set up Kota Ibushi and Okada for next week, which feels like a big match.
Yes.
I get that it's an anniversary show. It's the 300th episode of Dynamite.
Yeah.
Which, hey, that's great. Let's give the fans a big time match that they can get excited about, to push to the Kenny Omega thing when it's like Ibushi's back. Hopefully he stays healthy. And this was good. The match with him and Trent was totally fine, but again, never really much in question. This was, again, to continue our mid 90s trek here. This was Owen Hart versus Leif Cassidy.
Ooh. Yes, what a gem you pulled out right there. Holy smokes. Up next, we had Jet Speed. Speaking of 90s-esque, that's a 90s-esque tag team name, versus Ricochet and a reluctant AR Fox. But the Hurt Syndicate strike. And,
so before that, sorry, because I've got my notes because I'm a damn professional.
Yes.
Well, mainly because I was supposed to be recording Working Stiff this morning with Scott. He had to push it to later on today. He had a personal matter to attend to. So there was John Moxley sitting in the stairwell.
Oh, correct. Yes.
They got to stop this. This is a phenomenon that's existed both in WWE and in AEW, where your heel is essentially coaching up the babyface. You got this talent. It's pouring through your hand like sand, and you've shied away from your gifts, and you need to step up and be a man. Stop. Just stop. It's not believable in sport. It can be, hey, you think that you're the best. People say you're the best. I know you're not the best, and you don't have what it takes to take this from me, cowboy. That's all you need. You don't need, I think if you try really hard and you organize, you may remember to push record sometimes before you go live on Rumor and Innuendo.
Yeah. Good point. Why would Mox tell Hangman that, Robert? But
Because
no,
Hangman's my new producer. Did I not send you that
what?
email?
No, and it also indirectly diminishes Hangman. Hey, kid, this is what you need to do, basically, if you want to make it big. It's just like Hangman's been here. He should be established and feel like a star already. I don't know why you're coaching it makes him feel lesser than.
Loved the jet speed AR Fox Ricochet setup. I liked the little AR, like, all right, it's AR Fox. We know, again, another guy who's talented, enhancement talent, just like Blake Christian, just like Trent. Guys who are good, but they're like velocity good. They're Sunday Night Heat good. They're not well enough established where we're going to take them seriously. But that little interplay with him and Ricochet, knowing their genuine backstory together, and that this is the Pacific Northwest where AR Fox came up. I like that. I like that it led to Ricochet abandoning him and jumping off the apron. And the match itself was a fun back and forth thing to set up other segments. Forward momentum, Dom. It's something we love to see.
Hey,
don't do dancing. Why are you dancing? What
was
this forward momentum?
Like, remember Steve McNair used to do that? Remember or was it Dante Culpepper? I can't remember.
Dante Culpepper.
Was it? Thank you.
The soup spokesman.
Go Central Knights. UFC Knights.
UCF.
UCF,
UFC.
thank you.
My wife went to UCF.
Oh, really?
And two of my best friends went to UCF.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey, what did you think of Kevin Knight's promo ability? I kind of liked it, Robert. Stood out a little bit to me.
There was something kind of funny about him singing MVP's theme song from WWE.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of like, oh, I get it, but wrong company.
Yeah.
It does kind of show you this dude's a legit wrestling fan.
Yes,
but it's kind of like in WCW, somebody singing Real American, when in that world he was American made.
That's right.
So they're them challenging for the tag titles after the win. This made sense. I liked it. Hurt Syndicate beating them up. I liked this. Them cutting a promo and then challenging these guys, saying, all right, you want to step up? Go ahead. Then it leading to an MJF promo that led to a Briscoe promo that led to a match. All this is just, that's why I said down the middle, home run, big fan.
Yes, I liked it. I love the interaction between MJF and Mark Briscoe. Really good stuff. And I'm intrigued to see what they do with these two together. So very fun segment. Pop and Bobby Lashley was
I am kind of so I don't know how much of that was genuine Lashley breaking. Some of it very possible, or how much of it was this is the narrative they're telling, that Lashley's not totally bought in on MJF, and he does kind of look at Max like he's a bit of a joke. Right. So yeah, when you're referring to the kosher pickle, I get that makes sense that that Bobby Lashley would pop.
Yeah.
But and also Briscoe was funny and super over. And these are the reasons I'm saying, like, he is their Mick Foley. Like, he's the guy they should be using all the time. The crowd's going to love him no matter what. Use him.
Absolutely use him. I also think, too, MGF making mention that he's aiming for that world championship. But I don't think that sits too well with Bobby Lashley, too, being in the faction. So there's some storytelling elements going on here.
It's good, except there is that moment where you then realize, like, MJF may be destined to be in the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal at All In.
Right.
It's either that or he's going to face Mark Briscoe one-on-one. And neither one of those are really befitting of where he should be on their WrestleMania.
That's a great point. Yeah, because him just being in the Casino Gauntlet, it does not vibe. He feels like he should be in a much bigger position. So that is unfortunate. Mark Briscoe does get the win, so he will be the number one entrant into that Casino Royal Gauntlet.
By the way, fun game for you to play at home, folks. If you didn't watch Dynamite, and there was a 4-way match, and we told you Mark Briscoe won against Bandito, Konosuke Takeshita, Roderick Strong,
Hey.
Who do you think took the pin there? Yeah. Anyway, solid men's 4-way match. Great job of establishing Briscoe with the promo, having him look great in the match, having him get the win. Totally on board with it. On the women's side, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Athena, great to see her on TV, and Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
And my boy Wheeler Yuta getting involved. And we've advanced this Chris Statlander story that as I told Scott Chaplin, this is going to end with Chris Statlander and Wheeler Yuta boning.
Oh boy. Little mix going in there. Holy smokes. Well, you overlooked your friend Adam Cole. He issued an open challenge for Collision, which for some reason, why is it on tomorrow? Why is it not on Saturday? Am I missing something?
I don't know, because basketball is over.
Hockey's over.
Oh, and hockey has never been over in this country. The NBA draft isn't still going on. I don't know what's scheduled for Saturday night. You know what? I do have a remote control and a television right next to me. I'm gonna turn this way and look at the TV. Go look at the old guide.
Ooh, hey. If you
guys talk amongst yourselves. And then the main event, Hangman Adam Page versus Beast Mortos Esquire, which I really hope that's how this ends.
He needs to be some sort of proper name of attorney, yes.
Barrister Mortos.
Barrister Mortos. Well, Hangman Page beat him, though, Robert. Were you shocked? I don't think I was, considering he is much of the lines of what we were saying with a Blake Christian, a Lee Johnson.
Oh.
And everything. Oh, what's going on?
It is the NASCAR Quaker State 400.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey. Getting bumped for NASCAR.
One of my all-time favorite jokes was from the television show Frasier, where they were Frasier and Niles were in a bookstore and they were trying to spy on someone, and Niles, to pretend like he wasn't, grabbed the first book he could, which was a racing book, and he just goes, "I'm reading about the heroes of NASCAR." And that always stuck with me every time I see a NASCAR thing on TV, and move right past it, because we're trash TV people. We're not those trash TV people. But you know who are trash people? Those damn dirty Bucks.
They are trash people, and they attacked everybody. They held up Hangman Page, and so did Moxley. So did the Death Riders. Out came the Ops, and they tried to stop them, but the numbers game was too much until Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland came and made the save. And that's how the show ended.
Well, Ospreay made the save. I don't believe Swerve came out, did he?
Was Swerve not there?
Did Swerve come out? I didn't see Swerve come out.
Maybe I did. Yeah, it says Will Ospreay and Swerve had.
Okay, maybe Swerve did. Yeah, look, I think it's a little early to pull the trigger on the Bucks attacking Hangman.
Yeah, right?
Because, I had been hypothesizing and pontificating for a while this idea that they're teasing that there's a plan in place with Hangman Page and the Bucks. So it's to make the audience doubt, like, is Hangman going to doubt himself in a line with the Bucks?
So, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, Robert. I think Hangman will.
Yeah, Devin Dowling said no Swerve. Because I thought, again, the story was Ospreay came out for the save and Swerve didn't. But again, maybe I was wrong. And yeah, the Ops, who were only there to do this. But then I remembered, they taped Collision. I'm sure the Ops were on Collision. But we don't read spoilers.
None of that.
That's why we don't know that there was an untelevised segment involving Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, I had no idea, right?
For the second week in a row.
Robert,
is this shortest retirement?
Is this counterproductive?
Yes, AEW? I don't even know what we're saying, but yes, usually when it's AEW, something's counterproductive. What's the question?
Having Danielson randomly show up and literally diminish his returns. I guess not literally.
Yeah, it's challenging when you have a guy who keeps showing up that people are excited about, but isn't a week in, week out player. He's sort of the anti-Goldberg.
I don't know how I feel about that, because I like Danielson. And I like
Dom, he's sort of the anti-Goldberg. Hey, what's our next story?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's been over a year. It has been It's been almost a year and a half we've been doing this. And you're the one that created the run sheet. I'm feeding off your stuff, dude.
Hey, speaking of Goldberg, his son.
Seamless. Just so smooth.
His son spoke with Sports Kita. Oh, I can't say it. And this is what he had to say, Robert.
Gage Goldberg had the following to say, as Dominic clearly can't drink liquid while talking.
Tough.
Gage said that his dad definitely has the mindset and the mentality to be able to go for a longer match and everything, and 2 matches even. If you look at Gunther right now, that was what my dad was not a couple years ago, but back in the day, that was my dad. So I think it's a good challenge for him for sure. It could be a great retirement match. Look, guys, if you have children, your goal, your dream in life is for your child to look at you, this pathetic failure of a human being, and think that you are on the same level as Gunther. In no planet is someone watching a Goldberg match and going, man, he is definitely the reason that Gunther is the way he is.
Definitely different styles. I will defend. I will defend in the case that dominant forces, like Gunther's positioned typically as a dominant force, and so is Goldberg.
They are similar in that they are both human.
Oh, okay.
Someone who might not be human and maybe otherworldly is Aleister Black, Dom.
Hey, yeah, Robert, that's right.
There it is.
According to PW
We're
Insider,
back, guys.
According to PW Insider, they provided an update on another star who has been receiving praise outside of Damian Priest in the creative circles within the promotion in recent times. According to them, the same source reported that Priest push a couple of years ago is now saying that the management has been discussing about raising the profile of Aleister Black in the same way. So, Robert, do you think Aleister Black is worthy of such a push, and could he potentially move the needle for WWE?
Absolutely. Aleister Black is a complete talent. He's a guy who is to some degree an in-ring veteran. This is his second tour of duty with WWE. He showed in AEW with the Malachi Black stable. He is a main event heel if you decide to go that route. AEW didn't pull the trigger on it, but you have Aleister Black right now who has that unique look. He has that Undertaker aura. He's got the great in-ring skill, the mixed martial arts. The kick itself is over. He's a hell of a promo. He passes the airport test. He's a guy who, let's just think about this one right here. Aleister Black, Jacob Fatu for the U.S. title. That's an intriguing matchup right there. You can build Aleister Black up as a heel and put him up against Cody when Cody is champion again. Aleister Black is a dude who fits a number of different positions. You can surround him with a WWE version of the House of Black. I would nominate the War Raiders to be partnered up with him. Big, monstrous words. Do what they tried to do with Karrion Kross in the Final Testament, but do that with Aleister Black, and I think you've got something really, really interesting. He's a guy that they should invest in. Hunter wanted to invest in him before. The guys that Hunter was super bullish about and super in on, guy like Aleister Black, guy like Karrion Kross, guy like Keith Lee. He's got an eye for what these folks are, and it's a guy who merges the in-ring skill and the sports entertainment perfectly, and I think that's what's going to be a lot of fun. Wrestling Old Head 0 for 2 by saying Aleister Black versus Damian Priest would be good stuff. I feel like they tried with Priest. He's there's just something lacking, but something that's not lacking. Rumor and Innuendo. We are here every Monday through Friday on, dare I say, plethora of platforms, including the WWE Creative_ish X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on ad-free shows and Rumor and Innuendo. Dom, I will be back with an episode of Working Stiff, hoping to record this afternoon with Scott Chaplin. So keep your eyes out for that. We will be back tomorrow doing a preview of Night of Champions. So that'll be a lot of fun. Assuming Saudi Arabia is still there tomorrow. I haven't checked the news. Things are moving pretty quickly here. But someone who moves at a very unique pace is my co-host, and he is the best friend of fellow bankmate Mr. Savini, Dominic D'Angelo. I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Robert, you're my other best friend, alongside Tom Savini. Let's make a faction together.